Kansas listeners. Today's a beautiful day in sunny Kansas. We just had a long-awaited rain. It's been washing away all the grime and dust from many days without rain. And I've just been enjoying the sunshine through the bay window at our beautiful headquarters here at the Patriot 1057. And I thought I would read the paper. And lo and behold, I have found one of the first set of whiners from the Republican Party, the RINOs, that are so upset now about the big conservative turn in this last primary. Liberal Republicans got their butt kicked. It can't be denied. And those that want to hide as liberals under the Kansas Republican Party, they're concerned. They're upset. They're mad. They're trying to deal with it. And we have such an article here from Bruce Buchanan, who is the president of the Hutchinson-based Harris Enterprise, the parent company of the Hayes Daily News. And we've got an opinion article in the Hayes Daily News from Bruce Buchanan. We're going to talk about it. It starts out, it's titled as, "May You Know Your Place in History, Governor." Dear Governor Brownback, congratulations. Tuesday's election validated your agenda for Kansas as you and the state chamber successfully defeated most of the voices of moderation in the Republican Senate primary. First thing you need to know, Bruce, it wasn't the governor that did this. It was the Kansas Tea Party. It was the voter that did this. Going on with the article, you have achieved something many of us thought was impossible. As a result of the election, your wing of the party will become the party. The infamous two-camp Republican legislature will transform itself into the conservative legislature. Hallelujah! The pesky moderates have been swept out, Bruce Buchanan says. Those evildoers no longer will be able to team with even more awful Democrats to stymie your policy goals. I sure hope so, Bruce. Now, Bruce is being sarcastic here, but he doesn't understand that conservatives actually wanted everything that took place. And the majority of voters wanted it as well, Bruce. Need to try to deal with that. It's now the Brownback way or no way. With those words of encouragement out of the way, which aren't words of encouragement, they're words of sarcasm, I would like to offer my unsolicited advice. I have no doubt you will ignore it, just as you have ignored all of my advice over the years. However, as a loyal Kansan, i.e. a liberal in Kansas, I feel compelled to make a few observations. First, don't forget the adage about power. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And I absolutely agree with you, Bruce. Look at Barack Obama with a supermajority and what people in your real party can do with absolute power. The Democrats in Washington forgot that lesson after they swept into power in the 2008 elections. They paid for their neglect in the 2010 elections, and this may happen again as well in the fall. I agree with you there. They crammed through an ill-conceived reform of health care and have suffered at the polls ever since. Still agreeing with that, Bruce. So use your power wisely. Sure, you will have the votes to remove the tax caps on local school funding, but having the votes and making good public policy are not necessarily the same things. Bruce continues, Kansans generally support a strong public school system, and they recognize that giving Johnson County unfettered taxing authority for schools means the rest of the state will suffer. And it will, Bruce says. With unlimited resources for their schools, the Johnson County delegation will no longer support equity in school spending in the rest of the state. The Gold Coast will get more of the gold, and the rest of us will get coal. Well, Bruce, education's very important. I agree with you. But I don't think like you as a liberal. I believe in choice. I believe in having the free market in there, and I know that you don't. You're already talking socialistically. Let's spread the wealth evenly. Let's spread the money evenly. Let's give everybody even mediocrity was what we've had with the school system. But Bruce continues. Second, compromise is not a dirty word. Over the last few years, extremists in both parties have redefined compromise as the moral equivalent of appeasement. Here's something you ought to take to heart. Chew on this and swallow it and let it go straight to your soul, Bruce. Compromise is not a bad thing, but you don't compromise on your core convictions. Liberals constantly ask conservatives to compromise on their core convictions. And when you do that, you sell out your soul. That is an example of appeasement. And appeasement is bad when it destroys the state, destroys the country, and you give away your soul in the process. There are some things, Bruce, that you're going to stand up and you're going to fight for at all costs. Liberals don't like to hear that. Bruce self-identifies himself here. I know the right wing of the Republican Party is now the mainstream, and I'm one of the few RINOs, Republican in name only, left. Despite the ascendancy of the conservatives, there are still lots of varied interests in the state. The conservatives don't own all the good ideas. Yeah, they do, Bruce. And there's a lot of different ideas in the country, a lot of ideas in the state that are different. There are self-destructive ideas. There are socialistic ideas. There are those that have ideas that are tied directly to independence and victimhood. And then there are ideas for building the country up. And what you can't deal with, it is conservative ideals, the conservative ideology that is conducive to the most freedom and the most prosperity in this state. Somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose. And Bruce, I'm really glad you're losing right now. Continuing with the article. Third, create just a little distance between you and the state chamber. The chamber has an awesome amount of power and money right now, but it also suffers a bit of arrogance. More than a dozen local chambers have dropped out, and there's a reason behind this. Fourth, think legacy, Bruce said. You inherited a state with plenty of problems, but it also is a state full of good schools, good roads, Barack Obama sounding, compassion for those less fortunate, a system of taxation that is balanced and fair, and a judicial system largely insulated from the shifts of politics. Those are all good things. The state you are creating feels like a different place. Well, it does to a liberal, Bruce. All this free market and competition takes money and power away from centralized government. And it feels scary, Bruce. Bruce Buchanan, do you feel scared right now? Well, you should, you little turd herder. You should, you jackwagon. Because you liberal Republicans have been destroying the party, and now you're getting shown the door. Let me try to end this out for Bruce Buchanan's opinion article in the Hazaley News. Right now, it doesn't feel much. Let me go back. It really has been a place where almost anyone could feel a niche, Kansas, where people of all kinds could find a place to feel comfortable. It doesn't feel much like that these days. And so, as you bask in the glory of an election overhaul, I hope you give some thought to your place in the state's history. Make it a good one. Bruce Buchanan, you have the right to have your opinion. I support it and I will defend it, even when you're grossly wrong. And in this case, I think you're speaking from the heart of a liberal that should be in the Kansas Democrat Party, but instead wants to hide under and corrupt the Republican intent in this state. You are becoming few. And if I have anything to say about it, there won't be any RINOs in the Kansas Republican Party. Love this sunshine today.